Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back. And what are we getting into? Love is Blind series 2. We are now on episode 5. Before we get into this episode, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so we know I'm going to do videos. Please comment, like, share and do the good things that you do, because I can continue, get my word out to be on the road to 1k. So, as we know, the honeymoons are continuing. Billy and Ashleigh are fully taken with each other, but the real world, I would say, has not dropped in yet. So let's see if these road tinted glasses still remain once reality hits, when they finish their honeymoon and start to move in together. So Kieran talks to Megan about building trust with her, because he understands that, you know, she didn't have the best experience with men, and Megan does talk a little bit more about witnessing her own mother's relationships and why she finds it hard to trust. Kieran says, like, tries to reassure him, like, you know, I hope that you know that I'm a different type of kettle of fish. But me, I would say words are cheap, actions speak louder, so we will see what happens with them. Megan doesn't necessarily want to say I love you yet, even though Kieran has said it to her and not expecting her to say it back. Even though he says he's not expecting her to say it back, but he really is at the end of the day. But he wants her to say it soon for him to have that reassurance. And I'm like, but if she does say it and you get to the altar, you can still fuck her off and still break her heart. So you know what, she's going to be cautious at the end of the day. So Cal and Sarova have a little bit of a chat about their past and the people that they dated. Cal basically saying that he's found love with Sarova, and Sarova is basically saying the same things to him, and she says it's growing stronger. As again, that's all well and good. All of this, they're living in their little bubble at the moment, but reality is going to hit them hard, and it's going to be how they're able to gel and come together and move on as a couple looking for marriage. Because if they're that dead set on this love that they have, they're that dead set on being married with each other, then whatever they're setting to build shouldn't destroy that at the end of the day. So Cal does talk about him pulling Katisha for a chat, says he finds it strange that Katisha went for Javin, and I was just like, mate, we all find it strange. Trust me on that one. We all find it strange. Cal said, I hope she made the right decision. I don't think she made the right decision at all, and Katisha will soon see what she let into her life at the end of the day, because I already said Javin will not be good for her at all. They will not be good for each other. So Katisha speaks to Javin about meeting everyone, and I just thought, mate, you must have known it was coming. You must have known it was coming. Damala was a well-liked boy up in that place, and you did him dirty. So dirty. So she tells Javin about her chat with Cal, and like, she's trying to play it like Cal didn't understand how she felt about Javin and why she chose him. I was like, no one understands why you chose this man. Even Javin doesn't understand why you chose this man. Why you chose him when you were breaking up with him. Yeah, it's just, yeah. I just, it makes no sense. It really makes no sense to me. So Javin basically said that he wasn't mad by it, and he does kind of actually defend Cal and says, well, Cal is a straight up person and says what's on his mind. I'm like, come on, Katisha, Javin is not going to have your back like that, because this man wants to find them things out too. Javin has questions of his own, yeah, because he knew he talked Katisha into the position she is now, so there ain't no lying there. So Barda and Ched have a chat, so they go out onto the sand dunes. He basically was not feeling her driving on the sand dunes, because he literally had to allow for her to take the lead. Jed is basically saying that he's not built in that way in terms of having the woman that he's with take the lead. And as his woman, he's saying, I want to be the one to take care of you. But I don't think he's appreciating the fact that Bada is a very strong, independent woman. This girl was working again from when she was 13 years old. She was a young person who immigrated from her home due to conflict, yeah, in a war, yeah, and didn't speak a lick of English, but managed to get to where she is now. And it was with her damn hard work and determination. Bada is not the type of person that's going to sit back and let a man come in and just take care of her like that. So Jed needs to appreciate the strength in her, and they would need to find ways in which to complement each other. Otherwise, they're literally going to keep butting heads when it comes to certain things that they like to do. So he asked her how, like, she would take him being a dominant guy. I'm always careful when guys talk about being dominant at the end of the day, because being dominant has a lot of context to it. So I would need to know, what does Jed mean by being dominant? So I don't think Bada would be happy with him taking over, and Jed won't be happy without feeling needed. So Bada says, like, she sees Jed is not ready to let go of being the man of the household, and basically talks about how she's independent. And as I said, I think this will come to a head between the both of them, and they're going to butt heads on it. But it's how they're going to be able to communicate effectively to at least come to some type of compromise within their relationship with each other, because it can't be all Bada's way, and then it can't be all Jed's way either. So we get to the last day of the honeymoons, and the couples hang out for the last days, basically. Katisha is there rubbing up Javin's arm and said to him, I am glad you are here. This man was silent for a couple of beats and looked at her and said, yeah, I'm glad you are here too. I'm like, zero emotion at all. Zero emotion at all. And even I could see that through the screen. So in come Matt and Emma as the hosts, and basically they tell the couples like they're about to enter the intense part of the experiment. So they're going to start living together, have their phone and devices back together, and then with the inclusion of friends and family. So Billy does talk about like his little apprehension in regards to Ashleigh's dad, because Ashleigh's dad has never ever met any other boyfriends. He will be the first one, but not only will he not be her boyfriend, but he will be her fiance. And I was like, well, damn, that might not go over too well. And I was kind of shocked that Ashleigh had not informed her father of what it is the fuck she was going to do, bearing in mind she's so close to this man. Bearing in mind she's so close to this man, because you're literally going to have to let this man find out when Billy meets him that you've got engaged and will be marrying in a few weeks, and you know that ain't gonna go over too well with this dude. You know it ain't. So Javin and Katisha, when they went and spoke to them in terms of where their thoughts and feelings are at the moment, are already setting out, like, you know, their answers if they don't get married. So basically they're saying that if it doesn't work out, they will still be there together. So basically Javin is seeking to date this girl. Not marry this girl, but date this girl. Katisha is very worried about moving in together, as she says it's a big thing. And if before the wedding they decide that they are not ready, they are both comfortable in saying that the time is not right for them. That's rather telling, that. That is very telling. So after they've gone, you see the lads split off and the girls split off, and they're all having their chats together. Kieran basically is telling the lads that he wants Megan to say I love you back, and although he can see the emotional connection, he doesn't necessarily respect her current boundary, because she is not going to say it unless she feels fully comfortable and safe in saying it to him at the end of the day. So Kieran will have to wait. He says he's okay with waiting, but we all know he ain't, because he's already put the stipulation in that he wants to hear the I love you back from her before the wedding. That's what he's saying. So then Javin pipes in with, well, I haven't said it either, and neither is Katisha. I said, that's because you don't feel Katisha in that way. And if Javin said it anyway, Katisha would definitely follow suit. That's all I'm saying. He said he needs more experience, yeah, for him to say it. as for him, it's a heavy word, which is fair enough. But I'm saying that it won't be forthcoming from either Javin or Katisha, because there ain't that connection between the both of them. I just think they're playing at it at the moment. So Barda, Megan and Sarova have a chat about each of their men and how they will fit into their lives. Barda and Megan say that they have no worries, but Barda does raise that Jed is in that vein of wanting to be the provider. But she must realise, that's the background of Jed at the end of the day, because he is Lebanese, so he's going to have that culture surrounding him, especially when it comes to looking after family. It won't be easy for Jed to relinquish that. So her talking about for first date, I don't mind if you woo me, but on the second date I can pay. Basically, you don't have to be the one paying all the time, I can pay. That's something that Jed is literally going to have to get used to. You're going to have to ease that man into it. So this is what I'm saying, that there's going to be a problem between these two when it comes to the giving and taking of the reins within their relationship. So Jed does say, in terms of Barda to the lads, that in terms of her having this independent persona is something that he will have to try and adapt to, because he's very used to the one being the one to take care and be in control of things. But sometimes he will have to be careful not to slip into any toxic masculinity at the end of the day, when it comes to thinking that this woman needs to be taken care of all the time, she shouldn't have to do this and she shouldn't have to do that. So they're gonna have to listen to each other, because at the end of the day, Barda's not a woman that needs to be coddled. And I think with a woman like Barda, if he tries to do that and lessen her, there's going to be a battle on his hands. So Billy talks about, to all of them, the importance of communication, and I agree with him. And Javin then had to chime in, and Javin said it was weird being out of the pods and being in that space. And Billy said, which is rightfully so, he raised up the fact that Javin said, as with Katisha, when they were talking to the hosts, that you talked about willing to date again. How can you be talking about willing to date again when you're in a show wanting to get married at the end of it? So how does that work? So Billy was saying that he and Ashleigh had talked about that, and if they didn't say I do in terms of getting married, there's no way that they could date each other. And that's why I'm saying Javin don't care. He don't see it like that. He wants the girlfriend aspect of it. That's why he keeps saying he sees Katisha as a girlfriend rather than a fiance, because this man has now convinced Katisha that they could date if they say no or it don't work out before the marriage. I called it. She would have been better off with Damola. That's all I'm going to say. So Javin already said, we need more time, we need more experiences together. I says, this man is all but saying he don't want to marry Katisha right now. That's how it's coming across to me. He just wanted to win out from, so Damola didn't. So Cal does bring up the Damola situation here. And Javin does not defend Katisha in the slightest, basically. Doesn't defend her at all. It was Jed that actually defended her. So Cal said he hears how difficult it may have been for Katisha, but she blindsided Damola. She blindsided Javin, even though he thinks it's in a good way. What if it happened again so close to the weddings coming up? And I thought, Cal, I see you. What a way to mess with this man's mind. I totally see you. So now Javin wants to know what Katisha said to Damola to give him the confidence. Mate, she ain't going to tell you the truth. She is not going to tell you the truth, and if she does, it's literally going to be drip fed. She isn't going to tell you the whole truth of what she said in that pod to Damola to make him think the way that he thought. It's going to be drip fed to this man. So you see Katisha and Ashleigh having a chat about her and Javin, and they talk about the fact that she's not said I love you to Javin, and she wanted to know if it was to, Ashleigh wanted to know if it was to do with Damola, and Katisha says no, not at all. Basically she's saying that it was not fair of her to say yes to someone she was not 100% sure about. And at this point I was like, I swear down, when it gets to the reunion they better play back what Katisha said to Damola in the pods, because she was going to dump Javin. even told the girls that she was going to go for Damola. So for her to say after all of that she was not sure about Damola is absolute bullshit. And bullshit is what it is. So Katisha becomes upset because the pressure of it's getting to her now, because she knows she's lying. She knows she's holding in exactly what she did, in this scenario, and why she chose Javin. If she's honest, Damola scared the living fuck out of her due to how he presented himself to her, and she didn't know what she wanted. She didn't know what she wanted, so she went for the tried, tested and true that she always go for, and it never works out for her. So she says she's ready to marry Javin. Mate, he ain't ready to marry you. He ain't ready to marry you. You literally, in front of everybody, agreed to date this man if it didn't work out, or if you felt that you weren't going to get to the marriage stage. She basically turned to Ashleigh and said she doesn't want to be the villain because she came in for her. All I must say is good luck to Katisha, because Javin ain't going to make her happy at all. So Katisha's then talking to Javin about her chat with Ashleigh. And again, this man gives her no reassurance, none at all. He just tells her, you are your own woman and you make your own decisions. It doesn't matter what other people think at the end of the day. He says all of this with a smile on his face when he can see that she's upset and stressed out by what she's just been put through. I just really can't with this man. He never does what he says he will do. When he's chatting away from Katisha, he doesn't defend that girl at all. He really does not stand on business for that girl at all, or back her corner or nothing, but then likes to pretend he's concerned for her welfare. Nah, I ain't feeling it. So basically, they left the honeymoon. They've gone to Manchester. The apartments are gorgeous. They get their devices back, and I'm telling you, the bubble's gonna burst for some of these couples. Billy does have real apprehensions about meeting Ash's family and wants them to like him. Ashleigh basically has not told her father what she was doing at all, so she went dark. So he's going to be very worried about her in the fact that this gal has disappeared and ain't even contacted me at the end of the day. Don't they learn from Love is Blind of the past in terms of it's not a good idea not to tell your people what you're doing? So Megan and Kieran be looking at each other's Instagrams and getting a kick out of it. Barbara is telling Jed how to make a meal called pizza. And she's actually giving him instructions on how to make it, and he is taking it at this moment in time. But even though she does sound like a motherfucking drill sergeant, but hang ho, here we go. So Katisha and Javin, you see them two literally sitting poles apart, just quiet. Him smirking, she just looking at him, and I'm just like, you two need to just call it a day, because this is not working at all. So now Katisha is basically getting peeved because the other couples are starting to ask questions about the situation that happened with Javin and Damola. All I must say is, Katisha brought it on herself. She really did. Maybe if she tells the truth, they will stop bugging her, because this is a situation of her own making, to be honest. So Katisha wants people to take it for what it is. And I was just like, mate, but what is it? What are they taking for what it is? What is it? What is what is it? Because I know they can't mind their own business, because this is an experiment, love. This is what you signed up for. So then we have Javin saying he can understand why they are asking questions. That's just because Javin wants the answers himself at the end of the day. I mean, she thought she would find solace in Javin is beyond me. So he is saying to Katisha, he wants to know what was said to Damola for him to come out so confident. I mean, are them two forgetting the speech she gave on her way to dumping Javin before she got her mind twisted by him? What are they missing? Honestly, truly, well and truly, what are they missing? Katisha just wants to lie and say that she didn't lead Damola down a merry path, but she did, so she may as well be honest with the dude right now, because he wants to know. Katisha was being silent and demure in that moment. Like, really, he basically turned around in the silence because it was getting hella long and awkward. Like, it ain't a big deal if she tells him or not, but it is a big deal to him because it's an issue he wants to know. And I think if Katisha tells him the truth of it now, Javin will literally go the other way and won't be trying with her in this experiment. Not like he's trying right now anyway, as he will be thinking, she's gonna do the same shit to me. Yeah. Told you this isn't gonna work for them. It ain't. So she said, the last thing she said to Damola was, I told him not to worry. But before she said that, she was trying to put excuses and explanations in the way as to why she told him this. But Katisha know why she told Damola that at the end of the day, because the same day she went back into the women's quarters and told the galleys she was picking Damola. The same way she went in the pods to dump Javin. So yeah, no, it wasn't a silly thing that she said, as she's trying to make it out that it was. Javin's then talking about how it's tough as he wants to back her corner. And I'm like, mate, if you wanted to back her corner, you would have. You would have. Javin just wants to be hard done by at the end of the day. Like, he didn't have a hand in changing her mind when he knows that he did. He made it messy at the end of the day. He could have been the man and walked away politely, but he chose not to. He chose not to. And Katisha gave him that door and allowed him to step right on through. So, you see, as it comes to the end of this episode, Billy meets Ashleigh's dad, and Ashleigh at this point is hella nervous. And I thought they should be nervous, because this man ain't met none of his daughter's boyfriends ever, but now she's coming fully fledged engaged. So dad comes in, says hello to them, asks where she's been, and I'm like, and here it comes. And then when Ashleigh told him, her dad sat there and said, fiance, as in getting married fiance. And I was like, yeah, dad ain't liking this at all. He turned around and he said, I thought I was coming to meet your boyfriend, not your future husband. And I thought, this is why you need to give your people the heads up, because yeah, springing this shit on them like this is not fair. It really is not fair, because they don't then get a genuine vibe from the man or the woman that you've just brought in front of them, and you're expecting them to be happy with what you've just laid down. Like, any parent wants their child to do anything that makes them happy, but for Ashleigh's dad, I think he thinks she's shooting the gun a little bit too quick, because he was not feeling it at all, and Billy looked like he was shitting all the bricks. Anyway, that's where that episode ended, and I'll be back in quick succession with the next episode. As I always say, my renegades and all of you coming in, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so we know when doing videos. Please comment, like, share and do the good things that you do, because I continue to be on the road to 1K. Peace out, my people.